Let's go live to London now, and CNN reporter Max Foster joins us live. You've been very busy over the last 3 months, Max. Plenty going on. Liz Truss did not have a smooth tenure at all from the very beginning, although there was a 2-week period where really no politics went on because everyone was mourning the Queen. What was the final straw here?
Well, it was that budget that really broke her, and it just didn't add up. It's a simple budget. There was tax, money coming in, and there was spending, and it just didn't add up, and the markets felt incredibly uncomfortable about it. They didn't address it, her or her Chancellor, Kwasi Kwarteng, and the market sank. The knock-on effect for the British public, and you're right to point out how this has been very painful for the British public, is that interest rates then started rising. Mortgage rates specifically started rising because of the credit rating of the United Kingdom falling, and the cost of that's just adding to the cost of living. Crucially, to Conservative Party voters, most of which own their own homes. That's the core, really, and they saw things really suffering. And then the party basically lost discipline as well. Last night here in the House of Commons, there were arguments there was a vote. Wasn't clear whether or not it was a vote of confidence. People were shouting, there's pushing and shoving, and it just became really low-level stuff. And then one member of Parliament went on the BBC and was virtually in tears describing what has happened to his party. So the whole thing really collapsed, and you heard it there described in that report, and she basically couldn't pull it together again.
Max, we've seen this movie before. This happened about 10 years ago. We had Rudd, Gillard and Rudd. The circumstances a little bit different in your part of the world, but there is talk of Boris Johnson returning. We heard from his dad earlier on our program. He wasn't giving too much away, but you can certainly see the hints there. Boris Johnson, really?
Well, he's trying to figure it out. What you've got is a divided party. You've got on the left Rishi Sunak, who used to work for Boris Johnson. He's got a very solid base there. But the other side of the party, the right, hates Rishi Sunak. And the same for Boris Johnson. He is the main candidate on the right. He's clearly going to run. It's something that he would definitely want to do. But the left don't like him. Then you've got other candidates trying to fill in the middle. I think what I'm hearing tonight is that the Rishi Sunak and the Boris Johnson camps are trying to speak to each other, try to find a way forward. But I can't see much compromise there, and neither of them are compromise candidates. So again, with the Conservative Party, it's divided. People can't make their minds up. There will be some sort of result at the end of next week, but will it bring the party together? It's difficult to see.
It's so extraordinary, Max, to think that this kind of chaos can happen, and there is really no trigger for a general election unless the Conservative Party does it itself.
And why would they do that when
Exactly.
the polling suggests that they'll be absolutely slammed at the polls and most of them will lose their jobs? So are they going to vote for a general election? Seems very unlikely as well. And that's, again, more instability for the country. So, I mean, it's just the state of British politics right now. We used to be this beacon of stability around the world. And, that's a real shame in all of this as well, because I think we've become a laughingstock in many countries.
Max, you've seen a few things. Did this shock you, the speed of it?
Well, I've been saying for a week that she's going to go today, and it's not happening every day over the course of a week. I mean, it didn't shock me because I've seen how the party's just falling apart behind the scenes. But, normally, we don't have a written constitution. It's pretty chaotic. We make things up as we go along. It normally works its way out, but it just didn't for Liz Truss. And I think, the level of politics in this country is pretty low, and there's a lot of criticism about the level of politicians we've got at the moment as well. Hopefully something will emerge out of this. I think Rishi Sunak is seen as a safe pair of hands. He can manage an economy, but he was, he was the person that brought down Boris Johnson, who is the popular person amongst the grassroots of the Conservative Party. So, he's in trouble.
Yep, it's a tough gig, whoever is next. Max Foster, great to talk to you. Thanks.